A stray cat bit my neighbor's kid and now I'm being blamed, harassed for medical bills, threatened with a $2,200 lawsuit, and sent a lawyer's letter claiming it was a dog bite instead even though the cat isn't mine and everyone knows it roams the whole neighborhood. So, me and my boyfriend live together in a row home. There's a narrow alley in back that runs down the length of our street, and like most alleys in this neighborhood, there are stray cats that hang out there. Our block has one cat in particular that I'm pretty sure is feral because it has a clipped ear and starts hissing as soon as it sees a human. It likes to sun itself on our patio table. We see it in our yard most days, but we never feed it or put out bedding or toys for it or anything like that. Last week, our next-door neighbor knocked and told me that the cat had been in her yard and it bit her son. She wanted to know if it had its rabies shot. I told her that I didn't know because it was a stray. The clipped ear usually means it had a shot at some point, but I think they need boosters after a while. She got kind of upset and asked why we were letting a cat that might have rabies hang out on our property. We should have called animal control or trapped the cat and turned it into the Animal Welfare Society. I wasn't really sure how to respond at the moment, so I said something like, "Oh, yeah, maybe someone should do that," and pretended someone was calling me. Yesterday, both of the kids' parents came to the door. The husband told me that their son had to get a bunch of shots to prevent rabies and it was expensive, and that they felt that my boyfriend and I needed to reimburse them for it. They said he still needs one more shot next week, and they'd bring us the final bill then. I said again that it's not our cat, but he said that we had accepted responsibility for it by letting it stay on our property. I pointed out that it's not like the cat lives exclusively in our yard. I see it in other people's yards and under their cars and stuff all the time. He said, "I'm not here to argue. You know what you need to do. We'll drop the bill off sometime next week," and left. Are we actually responsible for this stupid cat? I could maybe see their point if we're doing stuff to attract it, but like I said, we're not, unless you count having a patio table as a cat magnet. It's true that we haven't done anything to get rid of it, but then, it seems nobody else has either. I don't see how we would have any more responsibility to control it than the rest of the neighbors. Although I'm not an expert in cat law, do we need to pay them for the rabies shots? Are we legally required to call animal control for strays, or to somehow get rid of them? Please help! Update 1. So, the mom brought over a hospital bill the next week, like they said they would. I refused to take it based on the advice I got here. She wasn't happy about it, but she took it better than I expected, and I thought maybe that would be the end of it. Then, 2 days ago, we got a letter from a lawyer's office saying we have to pay the neighbors $2,200 and some change or they'll sue us. I googled the name on the letterhead and they're a real law firm, but they're located in a town almost an hour away from Philly, which to me seems weird because there's tons of law offices more local. Also weird is that the letter says the kid was bitten by a dog rather than a cat. We don't have a dog either. At first we thought they had hired the most inattentive lawyer of all time and it was just a mistake, but then I started thinking about how people on the first thread were saying that cat bites usually don't require rabies shots, and animal control would have come to quarantine the cat and they were sure it didn't have rabies if they were concerned about it. Now I'm starting to wonder if maybe they really are trying to run some type of scam. Luckily, my dad has a friend/regular customer who's a lawyer, and he said he would help us write a response letter. He said that based on what my dad told him, it doesn't sound like they have much of a case, but we're going to meet him for dinner at my parents' house Sunday and explain the whole story to him then. Thank you everyone for all the excellent advice! If anything else noteworthy happens, I'll provide another update. Final update. After my father's friend helped us with the letter to the law firm, we never heard anything back. We see our neighbors outside sometimes, but they aren't speaking to us. They have been speaking to some of the older neighbors who hang around outside when the weather's warm, though, so we've been getting updates through them. They say the husband is still really mad about the whole thing, but he told them earlier this week that the wife's brother, who's apparently a lawyer, I'm thinking at the firm that sent us the letter, convinced him that it's not worth pursuing in court. They also said this isn't the first time this couple has done stuff like this. Years ago, somebody who used to live on this street knocked off a side mirror on one of their cars by accident, and they sent them demand letters for all kinds of things for a full year afterwards, even though the insurance paid for a new mirror. They also sued the corner store on the next block over because the wife slipped on some ice near it one winter, but it was eventually decided that the spot where she slipped wasn't the store's responsibility to clear. So, probably not scam artists. Just crazy. Thank you to everybody who gave advice in my first 2 posts! My boyfriend and I both appreciate all the help we got.